guys, it's Olga here. So a while ago I asked you to give me some questions about becoming a vegan, and I have Teshia with me today, and we're gonna answer those questions one by one, and I'll be posting them on YouTube, and there's a lot of very useful information for you guys to learn. So let's get started.
This is a tough one. The best thing I have found myself on my path with regards to this is to say as little as possible. So don't go to the dinner and be like, I can't believe you're gonna eat that, and you really shouldn't eat that because of this and this and this. Instead, I have just done my thing. I've followed my path. I've done what's felt right for me. I've basically lived by example.
Yeah.
When I first made this transition, my whole family was like, oh my gosh, hold the space, Teshia's, you know, going through a phase or something. And I just stayed my path. I stayed the course, and over time, actually almost my entire family has made that transition themselves.
Awesome.
So I just lived my truth, and the improvements spoke for themselves. So I would definitely say, don't say too much, don't try to force people. Everyone's on their own journey with this. And if you want to become a vegan and you're going to be successful at it, you have to be in alignment with that decision. And if people aren't there, they're not there. So do what's right for you. When you go into those social situations, don't worry about insulting people. That's their thing. If they get offended because of something that you're choosing to do for your body and because of what you feel is best for your health, that's their work. Yeah. You do your work. So if you know that you have a dairy allergy, don't go to someone's house and eat a bunch of cheese just for the sake of making them happy. Just say, if it's, I really appreciate you making this food, but I'm gonna have this thing that I brought, or I'm gonna have some of this beautiful salad that you made, because I know that my body doesn't respond well to dairy. I think as long as you don't try to force it on other people, it's not usually that big of a problem.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I remember when I did the transition, one of my first big events, I went camping with my friends. Mm-hmm. And camping is a lot of hot dogs, a lot of burgers, so I was surrounded by that food, and here I am sitting on a chair snacking on my cucumber. People just get very passionate when it comes to food, and they can get even aggressive. It's like some of my friends were saying, well, why are you doing this? How are you getting your protein? How are you making sure you're getting enough of this? I just felt so isolated because I didn't know any vegans at that point in my life. I had no one to talk to. Here I was around my friends who were supposed to be supportive. Instead, they were attacking me like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? I wasn't asking them, why are you eating meat? To me, it just didn't make sense why I had to kind of defend myself. Yeah. But in a way, a lot of people, I guess that's a natural reaction to just start arguing back.
Yeah, I think they feel I think people sometimes feel threatened, or they feel like maybe you think that you're better than them because you're doing this. And it's not about that. Everyone has to do what feels right for them.
Absolutely.
That's the best thing about life. We can all make our own choices based on our own health and what feels best for us. So I think it's understanding that any kind of reaction that you get like that is just them feeling maybe a little bit threatened that they're not also doing what you're doing. And instead, if you just can, again, mirror that strength and stay true to yourself without forcing it on them, then they won't feel like what they're doing, that you're not possessing that kind of an attitude. So it's definitely a tricky situation. It absolutely is. I'm not going to say that it's not. I've definitely been through it, but my experience was that doing your thing and staying a little bit quieter about it is better than trying to tell people why and trying to explain it, because it's when you offer all that they start to feel like they should be doing it, or that you are judging them for not doing it.
What would you recommend to people when they're going out to eat? So when you go to a restaurant and you see like there are pretty much no vegan items on the menu, what do you do?
I think the first step with that is getting comfortable with asking the server or the cook, because usually if you look at the menu, for example, there might be a salad that's like just plain green salad with carrots, and you look at that and you're like, that is not going to be enough. I'm just going to be so hungry. In that case, what I do is I look at the other items on the menu. So maybe there's just a salad, but there's a dish over here that has black beans, or there's a dish over here that has quinoa, or there's something over here that has avocado, and I just speak to the server and ask them, can you add this, this, and this to this? and I'll pay whatever it is, and I'm and I'm always very nice about it, and it's never an issue. I've never once had a problem. The other thing I do is if I know that, for example, I'm going somewhere where that isn't even going to be an option to pick and choose like that, I always have some food with me, and you might look a little bit crazy to your friends or whatever, but again, especially at this point, I'm just like, I don't care what anyone thinks. When I go to a restaurant, often we'll have like a little Ziploc bag of pumpkin seeds so that I can order the salad, and then I just pull out my pumpkin seeds and dump them on, and nobody even really sees it happen. So that's something I always do. When I'm going to a restaurant, I always have either like a little bag of nuts or seeds, but almost every restaurant will have avocado and these things that you can add that are a little bit more calorie dense so that you get enough. This is where it's a process, and it will get easier, but you just have to get comfortable with being that person that kind of asks. And if you're nice about it, they appreciate that, and yeah.